22 WSBT. Now, Michiana's #1 news team. This is News 22 Now.
Tragedy strikes at the Indianapolis 500 after a Michigan race car driver is killed during practice. Good evening, I'm Luke Choate.
I'm Deborah Daniel. 37-year-old Scott Brayton of Coldwater, Michigan, died from injuries suffered in an accident this afternoon. Charlie Adams joins us now with more. And Charlie, what can you tell us?
Well, Deborah and Luke, preliminary indications are that the right rear tire of Brayton's car blew, sending him into a spin that resulted in a crash in the turn 2 wall. A member of Brayton's crew said he was going 235 miles per hour at the time of the crash.
Scott Brayton was driving a Team Menard backup car when he lost control. It is not known for sure what caused Brayton to spin and hit the wall, but some observers say he might have run over something and a tire deflated. Brayton was unconscious when rescue workers got to him and was taken by ambulance to the hospital.
Race car driver Scott Brayton, 37, of Coldwater, Michigan, died at 12:50 p.m. local time today at Methodist Hospital of Indiana. Brayton's death was due to injuries sustained in an accident which occurred at 12:17 p.m. today.
A veteran of 148 races, Brayton's career was peaking. He came close to winning last year's 500 and was picked by many to win this year's race. Brayton was young, vibrant, energetic, funny. The kind of man who was a winner with friends and family no matter how his racing career was going.
The Speedway delayed the announcement of Scott's death until family members could be notified. Brayton, who had qualified on the pole for his 15th Indianapolis 500, is survived by his wife Becky, daughter Carly, 2½, and his parents Lee and Jean.
He was the son of former Indy racer Lee Brayton. Brayton becomes the 41st driver to die at the Speedway and the 25th to die during qualifying practice. And he had won the pole for the second straight year. Only 9 racers have done that at the Indy 500.
All right, Charlie, we'll look more from you later on in sports. Thanks a lot.
And here on the local scene, the story has been flooding, and in South Bend, the water damage was not as bad today, but folks still had a mess on their hands.
News 22's Ann Steffens is live near Ireland Road, where water shut down roads yesterday. And Ann, how is it now?
Well, Deb, the drive home is certainly much better, but that's just for now. Let me put it all in perspective for you. This retention pond, like every other retention pond in South Bend, is filled to capacity. Now, remember, it took just a couple of inches of rain to force this retention pond to overflow and streets like Ireland over this way to shut down. This is what Ireland Road looked like this time yesterday.
Tried to get home and the street was blocked off, and I just tried every way and finally had to go on the bypass.
So what should have been a 5-minute trip home took how long?
Oh, I bet it took an hour and a half.
Cleanup took even longer. These stains are where the water seeped up through the basement floor and leaked down the wall. Down the street, Don Carpenter rakes up what he can, but some of the logs are simply too heavy to move. Parts of the neighbor's yard end up in the front of Jerry Belcher's house. It's the sand and the gravel all over his yard that's the toughest to clean up. Show me how far the water went.
It went just past those 2 maple trees there, and it's never went up through that way.
That sand forces the city of South Bend to double up on its cleaning efforts.
Hopefully it won't rain no more and we'll get caught up with it.
Same wish from the sewer department because the water is at capacity under the streets. At this point, you just got to watch it go. And
just watch it go, yeah. When it gets down to a certain level, then we are able to control it. But at this point, Mother Nature got us beat.
And unfortunately, Mother Nature seems to have an undefeated record. The weather like this today certainly helped out. It allowed the ground to kind of maybe lose some of the moisture, Deb and Luke, but I tell you what, these guys around here are crossing their fingers because if we get any more rain in the next couple of days, we're going to see this all over again.
And if the basins are at full capacity, which you just visually showed us, and it rains again, what can the city do?
Well, Deborah, that's a $64,000 question. At this point, there is simply nothing they can do. They have all the valves opened all the way up so that the water can flow as best it can. But again, well, you just got to wait a couple of days. When the water goes back down, then they'll be able to shut off the basins. But there's simply nothing the city can do, at least until the water goes down.
All right. Ann Steffens reporting live. Thanks, Ann.
Well, the floodwaters are also causing a delay in the first ever massive cleanup of the St. Joe River. Bob Owens is with the group Friends of the St. Joe River. It planned a weekend cleanup of the entire 210-mile stretch of the river through Indiana and Michigan. But the heavy rains have made the river too treacherous for volunteers, so they are postponing the cleanup until Saturday, June 1st.
We don't want to endanger anybody and their life or limb or anything else, because if they were to slip from the bank into the river with the situation the way it is, they'd have a pretty tough time swimming out of it.
Owen says if the heavy rains continue the way they have, to cancel the cleanup, he might have to cancel the cleanup until this time next year.
In other news, more controversy surrounding proposed casinos in Michigan. A group of people are filing suit because they say they weren't allowed to have their say. 8 people who oppose casinos in southwestern Michigan say they weren't allowed to speak at a casino hearing led by Senator Marilyn Emmons 2 weeks ago. They say Senator Emmons told them the committee was out of time. The suit, however, will have no effect on the expected casino vote next week.
Meteorologist Sam Scammon joins us now, and when are we going to get out of this wet pattern?
I think we may be out of it. Despite a slight chance of maybe a hit and miss or isolated thunderstorm this evening, most, if not all areas, should remain dry this evening. Slight chance tomorrow afternoon, but the heat is on. We're at 82 right now after a high today of 83. Should be falling into the mid-70s by 10, only to around 70 degrees overnight. And we may be flirting with or find ourselves in the 90s this weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
More in a little bit.
All right.
Check your air conditioners, I guess.
Thanks, Sam. Making an investment that will benefit your wallet and your conscience.
That story is later in the newscast. In 15 minutes, Charlie Adams has the latest on the tragic death of a local Indy driver.
But next, experts are manning the phones to answer your questions about breast cancer. Stay with us.
Closed captioning is being brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, home of the minivan store.
He found your money. 12,000. 9 out of 10 people watching right now 1,242 have money owed to them and you don't even know.
This is not a scam.
29,000.
We're talking about $400 billion.
Find out how you can get money you didn't even know you had. 29,000 and you just came to the Oprah show.
Should I come again?
This is one show you can't afford to miss. Isn't this exciting? Next Oprah. Weekdays at 4 on 22 WSBT.
What style furniture suits you? At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, the possibilities go. Even if you're not sure what your style is, we'll help you find it.
260 million people, 102 million homes, and one sale to furnish them all. The Furnish America sale at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Hurry in for 10 to 40% savings on a selection so wide, it's nationwide.
Problem. After repeated scrubbing, your paint is wearing thin on you. Solution? One and only paint. It's stain, fade, and soil resistant, and guaranteed to withstand 15 years of frequent scrubbing and scouring without losing its luster. Plus, it's available in thousands of colors. So if your paint won't see you through the next 15 years, get one and only paint only at Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. It's the only interior paint you'll ever need.
Hey, South Bend. The auto parts store you knew as Nationwide is now part of something big that's grand opening all across America. It's called Parts America. And what we've brought to your town is the absolute best selection of serious quality name brand auto parts. And all for guaranteed low prices that mean serious savings. So no matter what parts for what car you're looking for, there's only one name you need to know. And that's Western Auto's Parts America. Because we've got your parts, America.
Have you ever had a doctor tell you that you have a serious illness? It's difficult to imagine unless you've gone through it yourself.
But it might not be as scary if you know what to ask your doctor. As part of keeping you aware and alive, Cindy Ward has some key questions in the case of breast cancer. Cindy?
Thanks, Deborah. It can feel very intimidating being in a doctor's office. But there you are, not sure what questions to ask or forgetting what questions you wanted to ask. You found a lump or a mammogram shows a lump. Your doctor tells you you have to have a biopsy. Questions you may want to ask at this point. What type of biopsy will I have? Will the entire lump be removed or just part of it? How reliable is a needle biopsy when just a small number of cells are removed? Will I be awake during the procedure? Now, if breast cancer is diagnosed, you'll want to ask, what are your treatment options? Obviously, mastectomy, lumpectomy. How long do you have to make that decision? And can the doctor recommend a breast cancer specialist so you can get a second opinion? If your doctor doesn't want you to get a second opinion, then you may want to get a new doctor. And speaking of questions, take a look at this. We have 5 local breast cancer experts standing by in our newsroom at our Cancer Breast breast cancer hotline, ready to answer any questions you might have. Now, the lines are open, and you can call right now. Dial 234-2755. They'll be ready to answer any of your questions about breast cancer, ranging from when you should have your first mammogram to what you should do if you think you found something. The phones will be open for the next hour. Please take advantage of this so you can get some free and personal advice. Luke and Deborah?
Thanks a lot, Cindy. A big announcement at the College Football Hall of Fame today.
Charlie Adams has that later in sports, and after that we'll tell you about a plumber whose dancing ambition is more than just a pipe dream.
And do we have some heat building our way for this upcoming weekend? I'll have the latest on Michiana's weekend forecast coming up next.
In today's economy, you need a new truck with great gas mileage for under $200 a month. Sounds good, but does it exist? You bet. The new Chevy S-Series has better gas mileage than Ford Ranger and more horsepower. Plus, S-Series with a bigger tank goes over 100 miles farther than Ranger on every fill-up. Driver's side airbag, anti-lock brakes, daytime running lights, and now $600 cash back. Or pay $199 down, $199 a month. Don't compromise. Get the new Chevy S-Series at your Michiana Chevy Geo dealers today.
If you care enough about your car to equip it with the accessories you enjoy and the protection you need, bring it to Z-Bar Tidy Car during their Spring Fever sale.
Z-Bar Super Rust Protection stops existing rust on used cars, prevents future rust on new cars. Now only $299.95. Complete interior or exterior cleaning and renewal, just $99.95.
Z-Bar Tidy Car, because it's more than transportation. It's your car.
At Meijer, we do everything possible to bring you the freshest deli selections. Recipes made daily and free of preservatives. Removing unsold items to assure freshness. That's because we believe the deli case is for displaying meats and cheeses, not aging them. The people at Meijer set out to create an extraordinary deli. And by the looks of things, we've hit it right on the nose.
Make learning fun for your child at Creative Teaching. Creative Teaching will help your child learn by using new and exciting hands-on learning tools and books. Your child will learn more quickly and enjoy a vast selection of learning games and creative toys, including Brio, Playmobil, Tomy, Binary Art, Ocean Animals, and much more. Find educational aids for your school and home, and let your children enjoy learning the fun and easy way.
Visit Creative Teaching on Mishawaka Avenue, South Bend, and now in Goshen at Market Square Center.
Learn fun facts about your weather every weekday on News 22 with Weather School, brought to you by Little Professor Book Center, Creative Teaching, and 22 WSBT.
Now, meteorologist Sam Scammon with tonight's forecast.
Well, you've been complaining about it over the past couple of months, and here it is, finally the proof. Average temperature thus far this spring of 43.5 degrees, the coolest spring this year in 49 years. Not since 1947 has it been cooler, but that's about ready to change. Well, we thought that this may happen, and that's exactly what we're going to see happening. Last weekend, we were in the 40s. This upcoming weekend, we may find ourselves in the 90s. That's because the atmosphere is in the process of expanding to levels we have yet to see thus far this year, and we have some absolutely incredible warmth that's in the process of moving our way. Right now, we're at 82 degrees. Today's the hottest day of 1996 thus far, so far, until tomorrow. Humidity 65%, dew point at 69. Falling pressure 29.76 inches of mercury. South wind at 14. A third of an inch thus far today, which brings our monthly May rainfall total up to 5.69 inches. That is almost 4 inches above normal, or 327% of normal. And for the year, we're above normal there as well, at about 1.5 inches above normal. Doppler radar right now shows actually things pretty quiet. Atmosphere somewhat capped over us right now, prohibiting any shower or thunderstorm development. So we are actually clear all the way back upstream into Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri. Now let me show you some of those temperatures in Missouri. How about 93 degrees right now in St. Louis. They've had highs in and around that area in the mid-90s, 91 Springfield, 85 Evansville, 85 Indianapolis, Chicago right now, 87 degrees, Cedar Rapids, 88. And this is the warm air that will be working our way not only for tomorrow, but for Sunday as well. In fact, we may be looking at upper 80s tomorrow as this cool front disintegrates as it does work into the region. Slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. And then the heat continues as we advance into Sunday with our next chances of rain Monday into Tuesday with that next system there working our way. So again, from winter to summer, boom. Whatever happened to spring? Where did it go? And where's that nice long stretch of 70s we were hoping to see? Well, how about 70 tonight for an overnight low? Partly cloudy, hazy, and warm. And then tomorrow, how about partly sunny, breezy, and warm, high of 88 degrees with just a slight chance of a few thunderstorms late in the day. Absolutely incredible. Also, how much rain is our maximum for the month of May ever here in Michiana? Our wettest May. That was back in 1902. Luke, you probably remember this. Was it 4.94, 5.94, or 6.94 inches of rain? Think about that. We'll have the answer for you at 6 o'clock.
I don't remember that either. Well, I shouldn't, yes.
Thanks, Sam. In just a moment, more on the Indy crash today that killed pole sitter Scott Brayton.
Charlie Adams has that in today's sports report.
I'm Steve Crowley, coming up with advice on mutual funds investing with your heart and your mind. It's called socially conscious investing, and I'll show you how to make money.
You ride a wave, no matter how high. You push the limit with everything you do. Your Northern Indiana Ford dealer's pushing the limit with low 4.8 financing or up to $1,000 cash back on Escort. Escort comes with dual airbags, can go 100,000 miles between tune-ups, gets great gas mileage, and is America's best-selling small car. And with 4.8 financing or up to $1,000 cash back, Escort is a value that kicks. Big time. Hurry, catch the wave of savings going on now at your Northern Indiana Ford dealer.
In the 30s, everyone played the Palais Royale. It was the place to be in South Bend. Relive those wonderful times when Carnival plays the Palais, with fun and games of chance, food and drink, music, dance, and more. Carnival plays the Palais on May 17th and 18th at the Moore Civic Auditorium and Palais Royale Ballroom. It's the place to be in South Bend for the best party in town.
If it's time to do a little groundbreaking, don't go at it the old-fashioned way. Tear through it with a garden claw from Garden Weasel.
Just position it like this, and you'll be ready to cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed.
The hardened steel tines rip through tough soil with just a twist of the comfort grip handles, even in heavy clay.
And it comes with a 100% lifetime guarantee.
So if you've got a tough job ahead of you, tear through it the easy way with the Garden Claw.
From Garden Weasel.
The Garden Claw is available at Meijer, Lowe's, Menards, and Sears. Makes a great gift.
When we say News Talk 960, here's what we mean.
I'm meteorologist Lisa Moser. You're with
WSBT News Time is 8:31. I'm Bob Montgomery.
I'm Dr. Laura Schlesinger. My number 1-800.
Even when I'm wrong, I turn out to be right.
It was whatever it takes, and I'm sure Dr. Virginia Calvin and the consultants.
Weekday Sports Beat coming at you. Thanks, Bruce.
It's Thursday, you know.
Do you know they still don't have a baseball contract?
That's right.
News Talk 960, your news, talk, and sports leader.
Get financial tips that can help you with your money. Watch Money Pro weekdays on News 22. Brought to you by Key Bank. Key for a new America. It is possible to put your heart and mind where your money is.
They're called socially conscious mutual funds. Money Pro Steve Crowley takes a look at in your money news.
More than 20% of all stock and bond funds invest in the tobacco industry. You might want to quit investing in cigarette smoking. Anything nuclear makes some people nervous. They'd rather not radiate their dollars into funds that invest in things nuclear. Well, the sad story is that as socially conscious funds were born, mostly in the 1980s, many underperformed the stock market and funds that place investor dollars anywhere to chase higher returns. However, there are a few fund winners with a social conscience in various areas.
The best is Rockwood Growth. It's now available in Hawaii, Idaho, Washington, and New Jersey, but will soon register in 35 more states. It's a no-load fund with a low $100 minimum.